To be straight in, though. She played a ton of games last year. Look for her to have a veteran presence as a sophomore.
And we are underway from historic Riggs Field in this top 25 showdown between Clemson and Ohio State. High noon kick temps will be roaring into the mid-90s here this afternoon. A humid day in Clemson. Humidity and heat waves all across the southeast here this week, and that'll be something to keep an eye on as these two teams continue. Arya Masudi, Patty Foss joining you here from historic Riggs Fields on the ACC network. Patty, early on, Clemson has the ball there in all white.
Well, something to keep an eye on early here. You talked about the weather and how hot and humid it is. Feels like temp above 95. Clemson already, though, is showing their press. So for how long can they press? We've talked about Eddie Radwanski's squad and how deep they are. He will continue to rotate players in and out. But with the weather being what it is, you would think it's going to be tough to press for 90 minutes. Now, if that press can be very effective in the opening few minutes, can they create chances from it? On the flip side, for this woman, Lori Walker-Hawk, how does Ohio State look in their opening game of the season? We've talked about their 4-2-3-1. It will look a little different when they're in possession than when they're out. When they're in possession, you'll see the left back, Annika Poremba, push high, push Elbritt inside, but they are going to have to dictate the pace of this game if they're going to keep pace with Clemson, with the weather being what it is.
Without a doubt, Patty. Lori Walker-Hawk, by the way, longest tenured coach in the Big Ten. Former ACC star playing in Keith Franson Dorance's Carolina Tar Heels back in the 90s.
Well, you talk about Schluter's attacking prowess there. Really good work on the defensive side of the ball just to win it and to keep possession there for the Buckeyes.
Keep an eye on number 4, Ava Bramblett, who just touched the ball. This is Mandy Schluter. Now for Bonham, Jaden Bonham. Full field switch off the chest. And out for a Clemson throw. A Clemson team that last season 8-6-5, won 4 games in the ACC. Looking for a line-breaking pass. Not a bad idea from Jenna Tobia, who missed last season with injury, getting some veteran experience back in there. Her and Danny Davis could be keys to Eddie Radwanski's Tigers, who 1 year ago peaked at the end of the season, started playing some of their best soccer as they approached the NCAA tournament, made it to the second round, fell in overtime to Vanderbilt, pushed the Commodores all the way to the brink in a 3-2 defeat.
Well, that's right, and you see just the style of play that they play. It's very attractive side to side. This is a good spot here for Tobia.
Tobia looking for an angle to cross, snuffed out. And that'll be a goal kick. Good defense there from Poremba, number 18. Now look on your screen at Tobia. And the keeper there, Peyton Northrup, for Ohio State. The Buckeyes stunned Notre Dame 1 year ago in the second round in South Bend. An overtime winner by Jaden Bonham. Would then go on to beat Baylor in overtime as well, before falling to Florida State in the quarterfinals, 4-1 in Tallahassee. The Noles ending up being the national champions for the second time in 3 seasons under Brian Pensky. But a Buckeyes team who has a lot of confidence. A third round and a quarterfinal, deep runs in back-to-back seasons for Lori Walker-Hawk's group. And they feel like they have a chance this season to do something special and make a College Cup for the first time since 2010. Towards the end line, presses on for Clemson. Now the Buckeyes will have to try and work out of the back. Turnover. This is good from the Tigers. Tatum short. On a touch. And punched away there by Bonham. An Ohio State team that wants to play compact. Coach Walker-Hawk will tell you, we defend to attack. Right now, though, the Clemson press causing issues, occupying the width, looking for an angle to cross. Anna Kastenfeld, who played well against Auburn on Wednesday night on the Plains.
And you can see what Ohio State wants to do already here in this opening 5 minutes. They want to put the ball on the floor. They want to play through that Clemson press. But right now, so suffocating is that Tigers press that you have to be a little careful here, especially early on in your season. Can you lump one long and relieve some of that pressure?
Long throw in, dangerous spot for the home side. Tigers shot. Had helium on it. And blasted over the bar there from Danny Davis, the senior from Port Washington, New York, making her 40th career start in a Clemson Tiger uniform. Only played 4 games 1 season ago. Battled injury. That was a theme for the Tigers under Eddie Radwanski. Another turnover created from the press. Val Bodak carries her defender forward. Good defense in tight spaces to dispossess. Elbritt. And drop back for Ohio State. These Buckeyes picked in the preseason to finish 5th in the Big Ten. And Clemson picked to finish 8th in a loaded ACC. Both teams right now trying to work out of the midfields. And it's Ohio State who settles on the ball. Bodak. Big drop all the way back to Nona Reason, who began her career at North Carolina for a couple of seasons. Split time last year with Addie Holgerson, has earned the spot early in the year. Eddie Radwanski saying Addie's time will come. But Reason looked awesome on Wednesday on the road, helping preserve a shutout for the Tigers. A sloppy game for Clemson offensively on Wednesday night, but you can't be unhappy with a clean sheet and an opportunity to build here at home against a top 25 opponent.
I think that's right. And if you talk to Coach Radwanski, he would tell you that the first half wasn't good enough, but they really built into that game, and they looked like they started to find their form in that second half against Auburn. You're seeing that play in here for the first 7 minutes of this match as well. These first games are really tough, and so when you look at this matchup today, now it's a Clemson team that has 90 minutes under their belt, whereas Ohio State, this is the first soccer they've played all fall. I think you're seeing that play out here in the opening minutes. Just a little bit sloppy from the Buckeyes in possession. Clemson doing a really good job with that press to make Ohio State uncomfortable.
What's the biggest difference you notice in your playing days from game 1 to game 2?
Well, there are a number of players in which they will play different roles this year. As you see another good switch out here to Genitobia.
See what Dobia can do. 1v1, cross through the center, past the penalty spot. There was no Tiger in the vicinity. Good idea, though, from Clemson. They look a bit more dangerous early than they did against Auburn.
That's a really good hold-up play there from Jaden Bonham.
Bramblett. And now Paremba. Keep an eye on Annika Paremba. Lori Walker-Hawk said she's the fastest player on the team. Can run north of 21 miles per hour. Can the left back. Tigers win possession on the right flank. Bodak. Tobia, she's been active so far early, good ball. An opportunity here from the width. Cross, played across. Northrup was asked a question and pounced off her line in a hurry.
It's really good interplay here from Clemson to get players moving in different spots. In this case, it's Anna Kassenfeld that finds herself wide. This is a tremendous ball into the box, and that skip is really tough for Peyton Northrup. She does really well not only to get there first, but to keep that one and not spill it in the 6-yard box.
Northrup able to get on the ball early, but Clemson looks good. They're on the front foot playing at home.
And the interplay has been really good as you see a good ball over the top.
Running on here. Oh, Reason had to come off her line high. Now has to hustle back onto her line. Dangerous here from the Buckeyes. In on goal. Shot over the bar. And that was Callie Tumulty. Best chance for the Buckeyes so far.
But And it's a golden chance. This is really good composure from the center forward, Jaden Bonham. Not to snatch at that one, but to see the on-rushing Tumulty, who does really well with that first touch. Ultimately, though, she's leaning back the entire time, never gets her body over the top of that one, and sees it sail high.
Callie Tumulty, the sophomore from Naperville, Illinois. Her 16th start as a Buckeye last season. Third most shots on the team with 31. And a question you and I both had for these Buckeyes, Patty, was who else can score goals? We know what Mandy Schluter can do, but who else?
Right, and I think that's an opportunity for a number of players on this roster for Ohio State to step up and have a big year. We know that Mandy Schluter is so capable, not even just in her goal-scoring ability, but her ability to set up others. Now you're going to see players like Jaden Bonham with the ability to step up.
Tatum Short plays it through. Juju Harris trying to get back on her right foot. Was dispossessed. Good emergency defending. And now Ohio State on the transition. Tried to play direct. Bonham forward for Schluter. She saw danger, saw the rug. Big tackle by Bissinger. Oh, and she had to get her right. And a big decision coming into the box, but she did it clean.
Well, it's really well done there from Elle Bissinger to come across from that left center back position and time that tackle to perfection. Mandy Schluter, her first touch lets her down a little bit there, cutting too far inside, but Bissinger with a crunching tackle that comes back off Schluter in the end. A goal kick for the Tigers.
Elle Bissinger, the sophomore from nearby Greenville, South Carolina. As a former top 100 recruit out of high school. And Patty, will be interesting with her and Klein getting the opportunity as the center back pairing after Neely Kerr went down with an injury in the first half on Wednesday night in Auburn.
Well, the good news for Eddie Radwanski is he has a lot of depth in those central defensive spots, not only with Bissinger and Klein now stepping in for Carr, but also Danny Davis. Danny Davis had a tremendous game at the midweek at Auburn, the only field player for Clemson to go 90 minutes. We saw her drop into center back for a period of time. Then now you're seeing her a little bit further up the field, but Eddie Radwanski with a lot of talent in those areas to step in and take over for the injured Carr.
See some experience from last season. Still a young Tiger side. Back-to-back outstanding recruiting classes for Radwanski. Dangerous now. Charging on into the box was Davis. A deep run from her holding midfield spot. You're going to need some of those, right, if you're going to break down a compact defense that Ohio State presents. On the ball. Castenfeld couldn't quite get to it. And a hot day in Clemson. We've already got some subs waiting to line up and come on in. Expect to see a lot of rotation. Still early in the season for both teams. Legs not completely underneath. Although an extended preseason that's been allowed this season, calling it a transition period, has allowed both teams to find their way and allow players to gradually work their way into the start of the campaign. On the turnover, Ohio State controls the ball. Bonham. Now you're seeing the Buckeyes enjoy some time on the ball.
This is the first period of possession we've really seen Ohio State in the attacking half. And you see just a good run into that midfield from Ava Bramlett. You'll see that time and again here this afternoon. She loves to maraud forward from that center back position and be another number in midfield for Ohio State.
There's a foul. It'll go the other way. Foul on Tumulty. Replay of the foul there. And it'll be Jolie Jenkins, sophomore from Winchester, Virginia. Plays it into the Buckeyes half, and now Ohio State will build. Good ball forward. Running on. Terrific ball to Schluter. In on goal, Schluter. Another big tackle. Point to the spot. It'll be a penalty.
I think this is a no-doubter for me. It's a great interplay in midfield, and this slip in behind for the onrushing Mandy Schluter is so good. It's just a little bit of a mistimed sliding challenge there from Elle Bissinger. For me, it's the right decision from our center referee, Brad Church, and an opportunity for Ohio State here early to go up 1-0.
The officials will take a look. Brad Church, there on your screen. And this is an official video review.
You get a good look at it here as Mandy Schluter sets up to put this one with her right foot. It's just a challenge that's a little bit late there from Elle Bissinger. In my mind, it's the right decision from our center referee, and I would be really surprised, Aria, if we see this overturned.
New to this season, coaches can also now ask for a video review. But we don't know from up here yet if that's what was requested or if this was Brad Church's own decision to go to the monitor.
I'll tell you what, Aria, this is the first look we've seen, and we'll see another one here. The question's going to be, does Elle Bissinger right here get enough of a touch on the ball before she makes contact with Mandy Schluter, in Brad Church's mind, to not call a penalty? For me, again, I think the right decision is penalty, and we'll get the answer here right now.
No penalty. It's waved off. And so Bissinger, another big tackle. She's made 2 of them in this first stanza. What do you think he saw that allowed him to
I
overturn
think he saw
the
the touch. And in Brad Church's defense, not that he needs a defense because this is a very tight call. For the first 3 looks that we saw on that replay, I didn't see the touch myself from Elle Bissinger coming across Schluter and poking that ball. But when we saw replay 4 or 5, you can see the slightest of touch from the sophomore center back just before she makes contact with Mandy Schluter. I'm okay with him waving that one off, although in my opinion, if you make the call in the field, it has to be so clear to overturn it, and in my mind, that one could go 50-50. A little bit hard done, will the Buckeyes feel, but again, a good interplay, a good combination play to set up that chance, and Lori Walker-Hawk has to be really pleased with how her team has started to grow into this game.
Natalie Brooks, 12, in for Jenna Tobia, number 8 for the Tigers. That happened moments ago, but Patty, you're right. We're starting to see Ohio State grow into the match. They've been particularly dangerous playing direct. Right after Clemson makes a mistake, they've wasted no time getting the ball up the pitch.
Well, what they've done really well is play vertical, not just direct and lumping balls forward, but they've played through the spine of their team. They've found really good pockets of space, have those central midfielders for the Buckeyes in breaking lines of Clemson, combining through midfield and finding the feet of Bonham, finding the feet of Schluter, and building through their stars.
Lori Walker-Hawk said that was a hallmark of her team, a number of players that can play in the midfields and make runs through the channel. And you saw that last season, especially in their NCAA tournament run. Not just Schluter, but players like Bramblett, Greco, Bonham, and Paremba finding ways, as you said, to get through the spine of defenses. When you have a player like Schluter who's so dangerous, not just from inside the box, from beyond it, that opens up so much for her teammates too.
Now, one thing that's interesting here, since we saw that replacement of Jenna Tobia with Natalie Brooks, you're seeing Brooks and Tatum Short flipping sides. So now you see Tatum Short here on the near side, that right side. She's going to tuck in a little bit more and allow Kendall Bodak at right back to get forward. When Clemson has had success building into attack, it's really come on this near right side. And so now Ken Bodak combined with Short and get some more of that success down the right-hand side, service into the box.
Yeah, good call there. What's the adjustment for Ohio State?
Well, I'm not sure there is one for Ohio State, because Ohio State and Eddie Radwanski knows this. We've talked about Annika Poremba and how she loves to go forward from that left back spot. She has to be careful not to get caught forward, though, because if Clemson is going to play in the attack through this right-hand side, they want to exploit the runs of Poremba forward.
Short. Castenfeld on her left. Her shot. Tried to curl it to that left upper 90. And you see what makes Anna Castenfeld so dangerous, the midfielder from Paradise Valley, Arizona.
And again, it's a good build-up play to switch sides, pivot the game into this right-hand side. Castenfeld does really well, cutting back to that left foot. You can see what she's trying to do, just curl into the far post. Ultimately, doesn't wrap her foot around it. But I'll tell you what, Aria, for the weather and how hot this game is, and a couple of teams that pride themselves on being defensive-minded first, this has been a really entertaining opening 17 minutes.
Feels like it's come in waves, hasn't it? First 10 minutes belong to Clemson. Last 10 minutes, Ohio State has really grown into the match. Now the adjustment period comes. At the edge of the box. Perhaps angling for a chance to shoot. Good interplay between the Tigers, but is snuffed out. Dealt with by the Buckeyes. They'll look to transition. Outside of the boot pass. Oh, big tackle. And a foul there. It was on Schluter. See if Clemson tries to play quick or set up for a set piece.
It's just a little bit of an awkward angle here from Schluter. See what she's trying to do, and does pretty well getting her body in front of that ball. Maybe a little hard done in giving up the foul there.
Standing over the ball is Danny Davis, number 7 for Clemson. Patty, where does this ball need to go?
Well, it's got to go to the back post, and from this central position, you kind of got to let one hang up there and see if you can get the second ball across for a chance.
Towards that 6-yard box, headed out. Will this be a corner? Yes, indeed.
How about right there? All right, that's where it's got to go.
Couple set piece opportunities for Clemson here on its home pitch. And the Tigers inching closer. First corner of the game for either side. Patty, what's the key to a good corner kick here from an in-swinging ball?
Well, you've got to beat that initial defender on the front post. See if you can whip this one in with pace. Get it to drop right at the top of that 6-yard box.
In-swinging from Davis. Northrup does well to punch it out. Strong in the air. It stays with Clemson. Dispossession, Ohio State and Schluter in transition. Schluter waiting on more red uniforms to join her in the attack. Turnover. Here comes Clemson. Harris thinking about it with the left foot, lays it off. Short. Onto her right foot, dials it back. And now the Tigers will reset. Look for a second ball here, Bodak. Hoshek. And Clemson switches the point of attack. Cross there. Towards that back post. Maybe a bit of a miss hit from Jolie Jenkins. It'll just be a goal kick. We're nearing our first hydration break. It is a scorching hot day in Clemson, South Carolina. Temperatures into the mid-90s. Humidity rising near 70%. It will impact the body. Patty, how does that affect what both teams want to do as we get into this?
Well, especially early on in the season when you don't have full match fitness, you're going to see some of that huffing and puffing that we've already seen here only 22 minutes into the match. But Clemson, we saw in that opening 5 minutes, they love to press and they love to expend a lot of energy when they're out of possession. Can they continue to do that when you rotate subs in and out of the game and keep that fluidity that we've seen when they're on the ball? Clemson's look really good in possession. They've combined through the midfield. They've pivoted the game side to side and gotten really some half chances from it. But as this game ticks on and the legs start to get heavy and the air is already heavy, can they continue to put this press on Ohio State and not allow the Buckeyes out?
Line-breaking pass over the top vertical to Schluter. Great defense individually there from Bodak. She's had a strong first half. My statistician, Karen Blackman, says it feels like 97. Showed me the screen. Patty, not like this in Chicago right now, is it?
It's not. I'll tell you, it feels like 197 up here, and we still have this little AC unit.
We flew you into the Deep South to enjoy this weather with us.
That's all right. I'll get some barbecue after the game. It'll all be.
You'll be great. Midway point of the first half, nearing our hydration break. Still locked at 0-0 between the Tigers and the Buckeyes. A rematch from a year ago. 1-1 final in that one in Columbus. Tigers actually took the lead thanks to a goal from Renee Lyle, who's now in the NWSL, before Schluter scored in the 82nd minute to salvage a result for the home team. Only the second ever meeting between Ohio State and Clemson. These are the matchups, though, that are so much fun. Two different conferences, two top 25 teams, two different playing styles that acclimate you before you get into conference play.
Well, and two of the best coaches in college soccer, two legends of the game, and you've seen that already here early on in this opening quarter of the match. Both of these teams are extremely disciplined. They play the game the right way. They try to knock it around, and there are differences. This Clemson team, they love to press. They love to get at you quick. Ohio State trying to build through midfield and combine, but these are some of the best matchups that you'll find in college soccer. They're games that will come around again late in the season, and there are differences in playing styles of conferences and of teams, and you're seeing the best of that on display here this afternoon.
Especially the physicality. You know, in the ACC, the flair and the speed of play reigns supreme, but a Clemson team who under Eddie Radwanski has no problem being physical, and Ohio State comes from a conference where physicality is the name of the game. And so you're seeing the Buckeyes starting to try and impose their will a little bit here in the middle portion of the first half, but Clemson at home has looked strong. This has been much better from the Tigers than what we saw on Wednesday night in Auburn. Very sloppy, especially in the first half, per Eddie Radwanski. And a stoppage in play is going down in the box. I think it's Reese Klein. And it is Reese Klein, so they'll tend to her. Hydration break here in Clemson. We're going to step aside. We'll be right back.
Look no further than these Clemson Tigers. Clemson was a middle-of-the-pack ACC team last year at best, and yet they get in the NCAA tournament, they get results, and they show that this is the deepest league in America.
See what Clemson did 1 year ago to the second round. How about Ohio State? Getting to the Elite Eight. They upset Notre Dame on their way. Mandy Schluter, the star, but the Buckeyes, they feel like in the Big Ten, they have something to prove. And it's a Big Ten, Patty, that sent 9 teams to the NCAA tournament themselves a season ago, and 4 teams made the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Big Ten that it has only gotten deeper with the addition of those West Coast teams. You think about a team like Washington last year, who was the cream of the crop in the Big Ten, won the conference and then made a deep run themselves. And then Ohio State. I mean, Ohio State in the preseason poll is picked to be in the middle of the pack, and yet year in and year out, we're talking about them late in November, early December as a team that should and will have College Cup aspirations.
A number of substitutions have come in for both teams. On the far side, pushing forward into the attack, Natalie Brooks. Good cut back onto her right. Opportunity for service. It was blocked. Drops it back. Clemson occupies the space. Through ball, not a bad idea. Maybe not enough weight on that pass to break the line. Now Ohio State trying to flip the pitch. Didn't like what they see. And dropped it back. Miley Morella in for the Buckeyes, as is Mia Stevens. Maddie Costello in. Check that, Izzy Dalk has made her way in, the freshman.
And it'd be interesting to see how Dalk steps into that back line. Now we are seeing Jolie Jenkins slide across, play at that center back spot, Elle Bissinger to that right center back spot. That pairing early on of Bissinger and Reese Klein was so effective in shutting down the likes of Mandy Schluter. Can Jolie Jenkins step into the middle of the park and be that physical presence that we've seen from Bissinger thus far?
Dalk came in for Klein. Christian Brathwaite in as well. Service punched out, big collision. Play on, says the head official, Brad Church. Cross inside. Oh, Harris was looking for magic. Why not?
I think as this ball comes in, you see ever so slight a tug from Netta Heltunen just to knock Juju Harris off her balance. But again, when we've seen Clemson be dangerous in this attacking third, it's come from this right side and swinging balls into the box.
Patty, I think you and I both would have leaped through the window had she converted on a bicycle kick. And Juju Harris, Brazilian. And a flair for the dramatic comes naturally in the blood. Still 0-0, looking for an opener. Both teams have had opportunities. Both keepers have come up with big stops. Mandy Schluter had a potential penalty waved off after an official review. Bissinger has been important defensively so far today. We'll look to launch this attack. Angling cross. And now the Buckeyes control. Throw in for Clemson. And on that video review, it is officially a coach's challenge from Eddie Radwanski. Got word of that. His first 80 minutes, coaches must challenge, and Eddie Radwanski got that one right.
Well, 1 for 1 for Eddie Radwanski. It's interesting to see another good ball here to flip the field.
Attacking into the box towards the end line on the cross. It'll be a goal kick.
When we talked to Eddie Radwanski this week about his strategy for the coach's challenge, he kind of said, depends what I see. You know, if I feel like it, I'm going to go with it. In this case, his eyes did not deceive him. And again, a really huge moment in this match, and one that we may look back on at the end of the game and think that was a decisive moment.
He felt good about it in that moment, and now he's batting 1,000. Reese Brown into the match, as is Berkeley Mabe. And Costello now does enter for Kendall Bodak. As expected, both teams getting substitutes involved early in the season on a hot day. Especially the Buckeyes' first game of the 2026 campaign. Well done from Ohio State, now pinning Clemson deep in their half. Do want to remind you to tune in next Sunday at 1 Eastern for another Big Ten ACC matchup as 7th-ranked Michigan State takes on 8th-ranked North Carolina in an early season women's soccer match in Chapel Hill. Well, that'll be a lot of fun, huh? Top 10, the Heels, and Sparty. Sydney Bering in for Ohio State. She comes on for Michaela Decker. Natalie Scobie enters for Clemson. And off goes Kastenfeld. Oh, looking for a through ball. Not on the same page.
That's a really good first touch there from Reese Brown, and you can see her idea there when she spins, looking for that through ball to find Ava Greco out of that midfield. It's a good idea from the freshman. Unfortunately, though, Greco doesn't see it and is unable to get in behind.
Through the spine, now for the Tigers. This is good from Clemson. In on goal, shot, save. Northrup diving to her left.
That's a really good spot in midfield from Natalie Scobie. She does well just to slip this one out. Doesn't try to do too much with it. Finds the on-rushing Natalie Brooks. Brooks does well to get that ball out in front of her and put one on frame to test Peyton Northrup. And Northrup, again, a really good save in the end, not only to get down, keep that one on the net, but to not allow a second opportunity and hold it.
Patty, that was a pair of Natalie's in on that action. Scobie to Brooks. Near the corner flag, jostling for the ball. Won by Stevens. Mia Stevens is in for Ohio State. Bramblett, 3-time all Big Ten honoree. Greco. Schluter. Onto her right foot, shot curling just wide of the post. And it took a touch. It'll be a corner for the Buckeyes.
Mandy Schluter is so fun to watch. I mean, this is a play in which you think she's got nothing. She does so well to get her body in between herself and those Clemson Tigers. Does well with the spin to put her body in between the ball and the defender, and then looks to wrap that one around with her right foot. Takes a slightest of deflections, and ultimately a corner for the Buckeyes.
Natalie Garcia in for the Buckeyes as a dangerous set piece. Eaton is in for Britt. From that corner flag. Outswinging ball header, Reason. Stuffed it at the near post. Not bad from Ohio State.
Well, it's really well done there from Ava Bramblett, because that's a ball that just floated up, didn't have a lot of pace on it. She did really well to find it at that back post and get a good chance on frame to test No. Reason, really for the first time here this afternoon.
Is this game settled in, Patty? What are you noticing?
Well, I think the pace has slowed on both sides of the ball. You haven't seen as much of that press from Clemson. They're dropping into the mid-block, allowing Ohio State to play across the back line and not engaging until it comes off that back line. But Ohio State, they haven't had as much possession as have the Tigers, but when they have had possession, they've been really dynamic with it. They've done well in playing into that center forward, getting the ball back, and then combining.
Playing vertical. And running on was Brown. But now Clemson enjoying the ball. Costello. Nice move there to get forward by Brathwaite. Here's Brathwaite, the senior. Began her career in the SEC at Georgia, now Bissinger. Costello. Through ball intended for Small. It'll be a goal kick. Good defending by Bramlett to shield. Reagan Thompson, the freshman from Ackworth, Georgia, played about 10 minutes on Wednesday against Auburn. She's in. Both coaches just trying to get a breather for their players here towards the end of the first half. Tug at the jersey and a foul on the Buckeyes. Looking to see if Clemson decides to play it into the box. Nope, instead they'll play it short. Bissinger looked inside the 18, instead uses the width on the right. Back to Bissinger. This time she does send it into the box. Ohio State was up for the challenge. Now the Buckeyes. Brown plays it forward in transition. Visitors from Columbus. Brown. Runners through the box. Took a deflection. And now Eaton on the ball. Drops it back. Netta Hill-Tootin. Finnish international. Has the ball here. And a foul on Clemson.
I'll tell you what, Ari, I've been really impressed with the freshman Reese Brown since she's been inserted into this game. I thought Jaden Bonham at that number 9 spot was tremendous in opening this game, in allowing to get out from pressure. As you see this challenge right in midfield, certainly a foul and an opportunity to reset for Ohio State. But since Brown has been inserted into the game, the level has not dropped. She's done really well in being that outlet for Ohio State and allowing that midfield to continue to play off the center forward.
Yeah, Patty, I've really enjoyed watching Ohio State grow into this match as they'll stop play. Got an extra ball on the pitch. You can see the versatility of what the Buckeyes can do. They've challenged Eddie Redwanski's side. I want to remind you that the ACC Huddle road trip continues through August 24th. Tune in to catch exclusive interviews with players and coaches of your favorite ACC football teams. Patty, the Cavaliers played for the ACC crown last year. What's Tony Elliott's group got this year?
They've got the most veteran squad in college football, Aria. I don't know what that means, but they have a lot of older guys who are bringing a lot of experience. I think maybe they outperformed expectations last year, but now they're not going to surprise anybody in 2026.
Another stoppage of play as Brathwaite shakes it off. Resumption of play. Good to see Brathwaite back out there. Final few moments of this first half. Ohio State's been dangerous playing vertical. As the flag went up that side, you see, though, they've enjoyed trying to go over the top of the Clemson back line. They've had some success.
Well, they have, and it's primarily come through that center forward, whether it be Jaden Bottom or Reese Brown. Now you're seeing Isla Eaton with a good run across diagonal to try to break that line. Ultimately, she's just a step early and finds herself offside, but you get the sense that if Ohio State is going to break through and find that chance on goal, it's going to be through service like this. You see a good look here. I'm not so sure she's offside. I think she's actually onside there, and you're looking at the wrong defender. It looked like Bissinger might have kept her onside. But nonetheless, the point being, Aria, that if Ohio State is going to have success, you get the sense it's going to come over the top with runs out of midfield, much the same way we saw it when the penalty was called, ultimately overturned. But that's where they've been their most dangerous.
Conversation here from Brad Church with a pair of players. No reason. All smiles. It'll be an Ohio State throw-in. Buckeyes last made the College Cup in 2010. Clemson back in 2023. What a special group that was. Still a couple of holdovers that experienced that from a few seasons ago. Jenna Tobia, Danny Davis, to name a few. It's great to have that experience. Freddie Radwanski, two players that have battled injuries throughout their careers, but no doubt know what it takes in a grueling league like the ACC to make a run deep into the postseason. And this Ohio State group of veterans continues to inch closer to getting back to the College Cup. They won 11 games this season ago. A Big Ten that should be outstanding. Buckeyes pinging it around. A couple of nice passes before being dispossessed on an errant touch. Now Costello. Costello's trained with the NWSL's Casey Current and Gotham FC in her career. Jenkins receives. Forward, Brathwaite. Looking to break the lines towards the end line. Bit too heavy. It'll be a goal kick.
That's a good idea there from Brathwaite, just to switch the point of attack and find Costello on that right-hand side. Unfortunately for the sophomore, just runs out of play, and now she makes the 80-yard trek back with nothing to show for it. But again, it's good interplay from Clemson, good switching the point of attack and finding those wide areas to try to get some service into the box.
Under 2 minutes to play, Patty. What's impressed you about both sides?
Well, I think for Clemson, what's impressed me is how good they've been when they find the ball off that press in combining and getting forward. Now, that final pass has not been there to get a real good chance on frame. On the flip side, for Ohio State, they were really under a lot of pressure in the first 5-10 minutes of this game. They came out, they got a little bit shell-shocked. They did not give up that quality chance, though, and they've built into this game. They've found the likes of Schluter and of Bonham in the center of the pitch, and they've had the best chances in this game while being out of possession for the lion's share of the play.
Both teams told us in the lead up to this one, and our coaches' calls, they want to be on the ball. They want to enjoy the ball, but knew both teams would have to be comfortable without the ball for long stretches. And we've seen that ebb and flow here in this first half. Still goalless. Bramlett wearing the captain's armband. Three captains for the Buckeyes. Greco and Schluter also sporting the captain's armbands. Here is Schluter, one of the best players in the country. Number 13 on Top Drawer Soccer's Top 100. And that'll do it for the first half here in Clemson. 0-0, back and forth affair in this ACC Big Ten showdown. Patty, both teams did things that I think they can build off of going into the second half.
I think that's right. I think both coaches will be really pleased with how their teams came out and performed here early on in the season. It was a really entertaining match, and for a 0-0, I mean, you can't ask for much more. The only thing I'm seeing now is Eddie Radwanski making his run.
Joining us as the first half wore on, it felt like your team grew into the match. What did you like about how your team was able to find its footing there?
Yeah, I mean, I think Clemson presents all kinds of challenges for us. Every team defends a little bit different. Their press has been effective, so I think we found some good pockets. We've just got to make better choices about how to get through and when to get through. You know, it's been a little bit of a stalemate, and I think that we'll find a few better opportunities. We've talked a little bit, excuse me, about how we're going to make those runs to try and exploit their higher line.
Coach, you talk about that press and the effectiveness early on for Clemson. When you are able to break the press and find those pockets in midfield and at center forward, it looks like the team is building well. What do you feel like is the missing piece to finding that chance and potentially the opening goal?
Yeah, I think we were facing our own goal way too much. We got to get on a quarter turn and be able to see what's coming from behind. You know, that pressure that Clemson was able to put on us. There's other spaces that we need to be able to occupy. I think there's a lot of space across the field. So it's just been a very vertical match at this point.
All right, Coach, appreciate your time. Best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Patty, what do you make of the adjustments Ohio State wants to make?
Well, I think they're spot on. I think you and I have talked about it a lot in that opening 45. This Ohio State team, for better or for worse, and a lot of times this for better, has been very vertical. They've gone down the spine of the team. They've played direct into the center forward, whether that's Bonham or Brown, and they've tried to get numbers around. As this second half wears on, are they able to now move side to side to build the game and pivot the game from sideline to sideline and not just touchline to touchline, stretch Clemson out a bit more and see if you can then start to find some of those entry balls in behind that back line of the Tigers?
Ohio State and Clemson. The Tigers outshot the Buckeyes 4-3 in that first half. For Clemson, Patty, give me a player or two you think has to be the difference maker in the second half.
Well, it's a good question because I'm not sure there was one that stood out for me in that first half. But as I look at the Tigers coming out in the second half, I think it's Danny Davis. I thought against Auburn, she was really good in being box to box, in kind of being that metronome in midfield, dictating the rhythm. For Clemson, when they've been at their best, it's been pivoting the game side to side. And so in that center mid spot, in that box-to-box midfielder, can she get on the ball more and start to knock balls around, be a little bit creative, and find that opening chance for Clemson?
Second half underway. Last season, Ohio State was excellent in the second half, outscoring teams 21-9 after the opening 45 minutes, including in the postseason. A pair of overtime goals for game winners. Aria Masudi, Patty Foss, our entire ACC network crew. Happy opening week of college soccer across the country. Here's Davis, putting her stamp on this match and her influence early in the second half, trying to be the straw that stirs the drink. Davis from Port Washington, New York, an outstanding rookie campaign back in 2023. All ACC freshman team, 8 assists her freshman year as the Tigers went to the College Cup in that season. A veteran name for the Tigers this year. Looking dangerous again early on that right side, looking for the opener, and good individual defending. See Reese Klein back out there at center back, pairing with Bissinger. We'll see what adjustments both teams made. You heard from both coaches on what they'd like to do. Now Ohio State. Ellie Britt. Britt carries into the attack. Has a runner. Oh, heavy touch. Just couldn't unlock the pass. Tatum short. Number 13, Sadie Peterson, is in for Clemson. Her first action of her Tigers career. Former Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of North Carolina in high school. Tigers off the turnover. Pressing forward. Onto the left foot, having a hit. Deflected. Knotted away. And out of danger for the time being. Davis. Dull. Davis again. Give and go. Davis able to run on. Battling a double team. The Buckeyes able to get the ball, but before it's knocked out of play, it'll be a throw.
Well, we've seen this time and again, have we, from Clemson, and Anna Kastenfeld cutting into that left foot, looking to create chances there. Saw it in the first half twice, and now again here in the second.
Kastenfeld does well to switch the point of attack all the way to the far side. Terrific move, creating the space. Cross, sizzling through. Nobody home at the end of it. And it'll go for a throw for the Buckeyes.
Well, Jenna Tobia was one of the nation's most electric freshmen in 2023. She's been derailed by some injury woes, but this is the sauce that she brings to the game. Just going straight at that Ohio State backline, a tremendous ball across. Unfortunately for the Tigers, no one in a white shirt, but that is really good to see for Eddie Radwanski early on the season from his senior Jenna Tobia.
Tobia on that College Cup team back in 2023. Top 10 recruit coming into Clemson out of high school. As you mentioned, she missed all of last season with an injury. But that experience, players like her, Danny Davis, that have been through the grind, they will be counted upon in the 26 campaign for Eddie Radwanski. So far, Clemson, now after a game and a half, still looking for their first goal of the season. As they push forward. More direct from Clemson. It's trying to get vertical. So maybe that's one of the adjustments Eddie Radwanski wanted to see, right? Instead of trying to press and play through Ohio State, find a way to get over the top of Ohio State.
Well, I think you're a little more dynamic than you keep Ohio State on their toes a bit. In that first half, you saw primarily Clemson try to play through midfield, pivot the game, and play side to side, and then allow those wingers to run at the back line. Ohio State has dropped a bit deeper, and so it's tough to do that off the dribble. Now, if you can just create a few chances over the top, it's going to force Ohio State to respect that, and then you can go back to what you like to do in knocking the ball on the ground and finding those chances through midfield.
Stoppage of play, and our first booking. Davis issued a yellow.
Now, this is a bit of a silly one for me, Aria. It's a professional foul from Danny Davis stopping that Ohio State attack, but that's not one you need to take here in the second game of the season. It's 80 yards from goal. She's not going anywhere, and so maybe a little bit of a mistimed challenge there from Danny Davis.
So Davis into the book. She's got to be careful for the final 39 and change. Tumbling down, wanting a foul, was Andy Liu. Andrea Liu, redshirt freshman from Palo Alto, missed last season with an injury. They are excited about what Andy Liu brings to the table in Columbus this season. It's a Buckeyes team that was so tough to score on last year, conceded just 16 goals on the year. Looking for the through ball, angled wide, and in the end wide enough to create a tough angle on the cross. Now a turnover. Clemson pushing forward in transition. What can the Tigers make of this counterattack? Played forward. Now drop back. Clemson will recycle the ball and build out of the back as they push forward. Davis on that left, surveys. Watchful eye from Andy Lou. Good idea, good ball forward. Oh, the final touch just missing. They were trying to spring Peterson through. Ohio State able to see the space occupied from Britt. Elbritt, senior from Cincinnati, began her career at Indiana. The Britt family, historic in Bloomington. Her dad, Kent, was a member of the football team in the early 90s. Her mom played soccer for the Hoosiers. No doubt that family was excited about the historic run by Indiana this season in the college football playoff. And now Ellett, Ohio State, for her second season. It'll be a goal kick. Sydney Barrick, 19 games a season ago for Ohio State. 0-0 here in Clemson, South Carolina. Clemson played to a 0-0 draw on the road at Auburn on Wednesday. This is Ohio State's first game of the year. Davis plays it square. Delt, short. The experience of a Tatum Short, the senior. Davis surveys, drives the ball across. This is good from Clemson. Cross attempt is batted away. It'll be a corner for the Tigers.
That's really good from Clemson. In finding that spot is Danny Davis. A good ball initially to spray one out wide, and then you start to see this interplay from Maddie Costello, getting forward that right back spot, going with Janatobia, and now allowing herself to get end line, ultimately cutting the ball back and winning a corner.
From the far corner flag. Third corner for Clemson. In swinging ball towards the 6, head away. Not a bad effort. Costello. Carla Small. Back to Costello. In swinging. And too strong.
Well, the second half has started really the same way the first half started for Clemson. They're pressing Ohio State deep, forcing the Buckeyes to drop into what really looks like a back five now. If you're Ohio State, can you start to relieve some of that pressure? If you're going to play out of the back, fine, but can you go a little bit direct and just allow Clemson to have to stretch their own back line and not be entirely in your defensive end?
Andy Lou, terrific vision. Spring Schluter forward. Schluter bumped off the ball. Boy, the Tigers have been physical with her so far this afternoon.
Well, the center back pairing of Clemson, whether it be Bissinger or Klein, Jolie Jenkins, they've gotten each and every challenge right yet again. Reese Klein in the right place at the right time, times that tackle to perfection, and snuffs out the attack for the Buckeyes.
Well, it was a Clemson defense last season who conceded 29 times. And Eddie Radwanski told us, he said, we conceded in some of the most ridiculous ways I've ever seen. That's not the Clemson DNA. He's known for being tough to score on and having a stingy, compact defense.
When you think about some of the legendary players that have played here for him in the last few years, you know, the likes of Sam Stabb and Hal Hirschfeld in playing in that deep lying 6, they're going to take a lot of pride in that back line, and now through 1 3/4 game, they've looked fantastic.
Short, diagonal run. But again, that final touch from Clemson just missing so far. Heard Eddie Radwanski say it at halftime. The tactics have been good. The initial press has been excellent. That final ball in the final third has just been missing from Clemson as a player from Ohio State has gone down in this heat. And cramping there, I believe was Hilton. And you see Harris is in for Peterson. Garcia will come in for Hilton. And
Garcia's got a captain's armband too. That's four captains.
Four captains.
How many captains do you think have too many captains? Or is it just a
What's the over-under?
Two probably at the same time on the same field. But if you have a veteran team, you're going to have a lot of captains. And if they're all on the field, then I guess it's okay.
You're the first person to ask me of my opinion on that. I just think it's one.
Okay.
Captain, one armband, one captain. That way it's not confusing for the referee.
Right.
Who talks to you as a representative of the players. You don't want to have four.
Right, but in a game like today where Brad Church is doing a lot of running in heat, then you might have one on each line. And it's easier, to find them. You're not covering as much ground as the referee, so maybe he likes it.
Or it's like the episode of Ted Lasso, nobody wants the captain's armband. Roy Kent's trying to give it to somebody. McAdoo's like, nah, I don't want it. You got to take it. Well, I don't want it. Well, I insist. There's a foul. Tatum Short, the senior from Vegas, playing in her 64th game in a Clemson Tiger uniform. Outstanding as a freshman in her rookie campaign. What can Ohio State do here? Looking for the opener on the road. Schluter, she's dangerous from outside the 18. Bonham. Back to Schluter. Pass intercepted. Whistle, foul. Advantage was given for a moment, but now this might be the most dangerous opportunity we've seen for Ohio State from a set piece this afternoon.
Well, you see the advantage initially given, as you note. Certainly a foul there. I don't mind the decision from Brad Church trying to let this game flow, let this game play, but certainly a foul there on Mandy Schluter. And as you note, this is a really dangerous spot for a free kick. Now, you have your center back, Ava Bramlett, who's one of the best aerial presences for this team, who wants to whip it in with that left foot. See if she can whip this to that far post. And if this ball bounces, keep it on frame and make Nona Reason make a decision there.
Reason guiding her wall. See what Bramlett does. She's going to go for goal. Oh, and she got it wrong. And you see her, she hunches over, exasperated. More subs coming in. It's Aaron Sheridan coming in for Clemson, as is Taylor Leib. Plenty of subs today, as would be expected. Temperatures into the mid-90s, and it feels like almost 100. Gabby Hoshak also enters as Carla Small exits. Crunching tackle and a foul called as Leib was taken down. Taylor Leib, the sophomore from Birmingham, Alabama.
Well, we talked about it at halftime, Aria. These tackles, as the game goes deeper and deeper, are harder and harder to time because your legs are starting to get heavy. Again, it was a good initial advantage played from our center referee, Brad Church, but certainly a foul, bringing it back, allowing Clemson to reset.
Terrific move. Kastenfeld on the cross. It was bodied. there from Ohio State. Now the Buckeyes don't have a numbers advantage, but they've been dangerous in transition. Decker. Schluter. Back to Decker. Now the whistle's really starting to pick up both teams. Some late tackles, maybe some tiredness. The leg's getting a little heavy.
And you heard that Brad Church and our center referee say that that's one warning for each team, no more. So he's going to start to tighten this game up, and you might see a yellow card or two here in the oncoming minutes.
Annika Paremba in as well. Schluter, Bonham, muscling her way forward, pulled back.
And we're seeing down Lori Walker-Hawk has already made the coach's challenge signal to the fourth official. Now you will see the stop. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm not sure how aggressive this pull is, but on video, you're going to see her pull the shirt of the onrushing Jaden Bonham. I would be shocked if this is not given as a dog, so and potentially red card upcoming.
Perhaps a massive moment in this match in the second half. Coach's challenge issued by Lori Walker-Hawk.
Well, and it's Jolie Jenkins who's just back into the center back spot. Jaden Bonham has a step on the center back, and listen, that's not a good touch. And I think No.17 will likely come out and get to that ball. But this is enough of a pull, especially as we see it in slow motion, that if you're Brad Church's center referee, I'm not sure how he can not give denial of a goal-scoring opportunity and issue a red card to Jolie Jenkins, because this is a clear tug on the center forward, and she's in on goal. No.17 is backing up. You can see her at the top of your screen there. She's backing up. She's not coming for the ball, and therefore I would argue that Jaden Bonham is likely going to get to this ball. It's a clear goal-scoring opportunity, and you will likely see a red card to the sophomore defender, Jolie Jenkins.
Pretty compelling case on video, no doubt, Patty. You see another look here from Jolie Jenkins on the tug of the jersey of Bonham.
And I think if you saw No.17 coming for that ball, then you could make the argument that she might get there. But if she's not coming, then I think it is now a goal-scoring opportunity. We'll get the answer coming right now.
Red card issued. And Jolie Jenkins has been sent off.
But as unfortunate as that is, I do think it's the right decision, Ari. I think Brad Church, upon review, can see that the attacker, Jaden Bonham, is going to get to that ball, and therefore she has a clear goal-scoring opportunity in on frame. The pool is clear as day, whether it was enough to make her go down or not. On video review, you can see her tug. And now Clemson down to 10 women for almost a half hour in this heat. This game could turn on ahead real fast.
So Ohio State will have an 11-on-10 advantage for the next 28 minutes and 29 seconds. A successful coach's challenge from Lori Walker-Hawk. What a huge moment in this ball game. Played short, played across. Not bad right off the playground for Ohio State, but Reason did well. Quickly ahead, directs to Juju Harris. Tigers trying to take advantage of the numbers. On the left side, inside the 18. Sheridan's pass to Harris too heavy. Now a long distance strike. One hops into the midst of Northrop.
It's a good training ground free kick here. Just to play that one short. Mandy Schluter will want that one back, though. You'd like to see her just allow it to come across the body, cut this one back with the left foot across the 6-yard box. Ultimately, that one's always going to find No. Reason, but it's going to be interesting now, Arya, as this game goes on. What does Eddie Radwanski do with his tactics? Does he go to 4 in the back? Doesn't look like it. Looks like he will stick with 3. This is where you're going to get exposed in wide areas if you're going to stick with 3 at the back.
Britt drops, Mabe. Now on the touch, Decker. And back to the senior Mabe. Ohio State. Up a player for the rest of this one. Into the 18, played back across. At the edge of the box, shot blocked. Reason takes down her own teammate, including a Buckeye, to get to that one. Boy, No. Reason's been good again today.
Takes a little bit of an awkward deflection here at the top of the box and just finds this bounce. No. Reason, like you said, does well just to come for this one and hold it strong, but that's an awkward bounce in your own 6-yard box.
Patty, what changes now for both teams? Obviously, Ohio State has a player advantage, but what's different for Clemson?
Well, I think Clemson has been very comfortable in the back in their defensive unit. You know, you think about how aggressive and how talented and creative this Ohio State front line is, and we talked time and again throughout this game. You see a good flick here. We talked about the Clemson back line and how they seem to be in the right spot at the right time with a tackle right when Ohio State's going to make that challenge. Now, when we hit the hydration break here in the next minute or two, will that man, Eddie Radwanski, elect to insert a 4th defender and not allow Ohio State to create those chances in behind? Or is he going to go for this game? I would think that it will be the former, and you have to settle down your back line and see if you can sneak a goal on the attacking side. But there's a lot of tactics that are going to go into that hydration break on both sides of the ball, really.
Buckeyes looking to take advantage. Schluter, long-range effort, didn't get enough on it. Was easy for Reason in the end. Legs getting heavy, no doubt. Will be tougher on Clemson in this heat. Playing a woman down for the next 24-50. Just trying to survive. Can the Tigers hit on the counter and maybe catch Ohio State napping? But no doubt now the seesaw tilts in favor of the visitors from Columbus. On the edge there, Schluter has a hit. It'll be a goal kick for Clemson. Couple subs coming in for the Tigers. See if Clemson gets a bit more compact. And if Clemson does get into a lower block and constricts the space, what do you do if you're Ohio State? What becomes the key to unlocking?
Well, I think regardless of if Clemson decides to drop into a low block or not, I would love to see Jaden Bonham be reinserted in this game to play alongside Reese Brown. Now, we've seen them interchange, and they've both done really well at that number 9 spot, but they're both athletic, physical center forwards. And so if you have a number advantage, can you take a player out of midfield or potentially even your own back line, add another center forward, and create a mismatch at that center back spot? Clemson, as of now, is only playing with 1 center back. So if you can put 2 center forwards up there, make them make decisions, it's going to be uncomfortable. This is the second game of the year for Clemson. This is not a spot that they've been in ever. and yet you have to make them uncomfortable. So maybe we see Bonham alongside Brown, two bigger center forwards to occupy that space and allow some of the crafty players like Schluter, Britt, to get in behind and continue to run at that back line.
Greco slow to get up. And in for Clemson. 3 subs. It was Brooks, Brathwaite, and Bodak. Ohio State out shooting Clemson 5-1 here in the second half. And we're in a hydration break in Clemson. Grab a drink of water. Join us on the other side. 0-0 here in Clemson. Kohler, Sam Urbach, and Rihanna Hudson. How about Courtwright Minestrella? Ooh, the pairings. It goes on and on. We are in for a treat this season. If you're just joining us, Clemson is down to 10. Ohio State will have a player advantage for the rest of this one. A red card given to Jolie Jenkins, yanking down Jaden Bonham. Elbritt on the ball. Oh, tried to nutmeg. And create that space. That's a throw in. Buckeyes were backed into the corner, able to play out of it, but now dispossessed. Tangling of bodies, and foul given in favor of Clemson.
We've seen both of those changes that we talked about before the quasi-hydration break there. Now Clemson dropping Danny Davis in as a second center back. We thought maybe Jaden Bonham would play alongside Reese Brown, but now Mia Stevens inserted in. So you're seeing those two really out-and-out center forwards playing together. Not Bonham yet, but you would have to think that the center forward, the starting center forward for Lori Walker-Hawk will be back in, and you might see those two center forward pairings continue.
Ohio State pushing forward, headed away. Now Clemson will collect. Throw in for the Tigers. Ohio State pressing and the counter press effective for the Buckeyes. We'll see if they can wear down the Tigers on their home pitch. Ohio State team that saw Molly Pritchard and Moran Gasick signing in the NWSL with North Carolina Courage and Racing Louisville. A couple of All-Americans that helped Lori Walker-Hawk's side to a quarterfinal last season. And the Tigers said goodbye to Renee Lyle, who is now a member of the Portland Thorns. Had her first goal against Gotham a couple of weeks ago. 21 goals in an outstanding career for Lyles. Here's a member of the Tigers. Brooks, Bodak, Harris. Can she turn the corner? No, but she earns a corner.
That's a good last-ditch challenge here from Jolie Jenkins not to allow Juju Harris. We told you in the open that Juju Harris is electric, and she can turn a game on a head in one instant. There you see just a tremendous first touch to get around the center back, or so she thought. Ultimately, though, a really good challenge in the end to snuff it out there from Natalie Garcia, send the ball out for a corner.
Third corner for Clemson. It'll be Davis looking for an in-swinging ball from the left corner flag. Delivers. Pretty good ball. Header. Oh, it's over the crossbar, but it was a great attempt.
Well, pretty good ball, really good ball swung across here from Davis, just finding the on-rushing head of Elle Bissinger. She gets inside the 6-yard box, just can't quite get on top of that ball to knot it down. But for a Clemson team down to 10, that was the moment there to steal a goal.
So we were told the last break was not a hydration break. This one is a hydration break. So we'll be right back.
Most snacks are just air.
Lori Walker-Hawk has her Ohio State Buckeyes on the road against Clemson. It's 0-0. They're up a woman after a red card issued to the Tigers. Some big moments that coaches' challenges have been necessary and used. Both coaches have won their coaches' challenge.
Well, the coaches' challenge new to college soccer this year. Both coaches will get 2 challenges in the opening 80 minutes. That's the only time that we'll go back to video review. And as you say, both correct. Initially here from Elle Bissinger, called a penalty on the field, overturned after Eddie Radwanski challenged by center referee Brad Church. And then the moment of the second half thus far. A red card issued in the end to Jolie Jenkins. It's just Jaden Bonham using her speed, getting him behind. The sophomore defender gives a tug on the shirt. For me, a clear red card, clear denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. Clemson down to 10 players for the last 29 minutes of this game. It has changed the way this game has been played. For the opening hour, we thought Clemson really for the most part on the attack, on the front foot, and now Ohio State able to turn the game, pushing Clemson back and looking for a winner here on the road.
Only 9 shots combined between the two teams, 5 for Ohio State and 4 for Clemson. Brathwaite pushing forward. Was looking to try and break the lines. Now Brooks. Cross. Looking for the head. There of her teammate Leib. Ball redirected in. And cleared away, foul on Clemson. Ohio State pinging it around. Decker. Schluter. Through ball, just getting a touch to it was Bodak. Oh, the ball and punched away. Near disaster for Clemson, no reason.
This is a
Saves
pass
the
back.
day.
This is a pass back, though, Aria. This should be an indirect free kick in the 6-yard box. This ball is played back by Braithwaite. No reason cannot touch this ball with her hand. That is clear intent to play the ball back to the goalkeeper. You can't touch that one with your hand. That should be an indirect free kick in the 6-yard box for Ohio State.
It is indeed. Patty, you're 2 for 2 today.
We're fine.
We're taking a look here at Brad Church, who is giving an indirect free kick.
Should we stay or run?
We'll see Brad Church come over, talk to his assistant referee, but I would expect that they will confirm this. Now, this is a really tricky spot for both sides. You're going to see every player for Clemson already on their line. But if you're Ohio State, you have to roll this ball enough so that it's moving and yet find a pocket of space to smash it. I think what you will see is a roll from a red shirt and just a whack as hard as you can from that far out. This is going to be really entertaining. You don't see it a lot at any level of soccer, but this is one of the most unique situations, and we're about to see right here. Looks like Mandy Schluter will roll this ball to Ava Bramlett and let her smash home.
Perhaps a deciding moment late in this contest in Clemson. A yellow card was given to Reason as well. She did what she had to do. She had to touch it. But it only saves the moment.
Ladies, do not encroach. It's on the play of the ball.
So now Schluter will have to roll it forward. She does. Shot blocked. Clemson comes up huge. And the Tiger faithful roar. What a moment in this game.
Well, it's a really good block in the end from the center forward, Juju Harris. Like we said, though, this is one of the more unique situations in soccer at any level. What I would have liked to see, though, is Mandy Schluter actually roll this ball back. So she just touches the ball, and then Ava Bramlett has to take 2 steps before she hits it. That allows Juju Harris to get off the line and close that space. If you roll that ball back and smash it from 7 yards instead of 6, who cares, Aria? Instead, there's too much time in between the initial touch and the effort on frame. That allows Clemson to get off the line and make a huge block to keep this game scoreless.
And not much of an angle there, right? From about 5 yards out.
Well,
about 6 yards. I mean, it's tough.
Right.
You have one shot, and that's upper 90 somewhere to roof it. But again, Clemson's back line, the defense as a whole, a step in the right direction for Eddie Radwanski's side through 2 matches. Still 15 minutes and change to play. The Tigers have been hard to score on, even down a player. Can Ohio State unlock a game winner?
All right, you can see just the legs starting to come into play on both sides of the ball, but especially Clemson down to 10 players, having to work extra hard to get into those spots. The belief that Eddie Radwanski's squad is showing right now, the courage to just make every tackle, every block, and try to get out of here with a point.
It'll be Elbrid from the corner flag. Swings it in towards the far side of the 6. Clemson able to clear. Lori Walker-Hawk for Ohio State breaks the game down into 4 different parts. She says most coaches do it in 3s. We like to do it in 4. And so a de facto 4th quarter for her team here. She says, do you have the grit? And do you have the tenaciousness to finish a game out? The answer was yes last season, time and time again. Can they find it here on the road at Clemson?
You can see all 10 players for Clemson, their defensive half. They have dropped into that quasi-low block, making it really hard for Ohio State to get in behind and forcing the Buckeyes to play in front of those white shirts.
Buckeyes on the cross. Reason again, and took a knock as well.
I saw everything, guys. She came in, she tried to avoid. Just kind of roll. Just take a second. We all need a break.
You heard there from the center referee. Brad, let's take a second. We all need a break. Trust me. Trust me, Brad, we also need a break up here.
It's a great job from the Clemson crew.
Now, this is a good spot, though, from Elbrid, forcing the game wide, stretching Clemson, and getting a dangerous ball into the box. That's a great take from Nona Reason. She comes out, she's brave, she gets 2 mitts on the ball, is able to hold it, not allow for the second opportunity, takes the contact, and ultimately will relieve some pressure here for the Tigers.
Carrying forward on the left side, trying to engineer some magic. Crossed in on an awkward deflection. from Natalie Brooks, handled well by Northrop.
And I think if you're Northrop, you got to go fast now. You got to get before Clemson gets into that block and that set. You got to go fast. Well, not there. Give the ball straight back to the white shirts.
Clemson able to push high on the pitch. Oh, what a move. Creating space. Right-footed shot. And it's saved by Northrop. Oh, it was brilliant individual play there from Hoshak.
Well, we talked about the impact of transfers. Here's a transfer for the Tiger. A good, just allow the ball to run through her legs, cuts it back to that favored right foot. This is a good effort, ultimately straight at Northrop. But you can see what she's trying to do here, wrapping that right foot, looking for that far post. Ultimately, not in the spot she wanted it, but a good opportunity in the end for Clemson.
4 saves for Northrop, 3 for Reason. And you see the harsh conditions here in Clemson, South Carolina, taking a toll on both teams. A lot of respect for both clubs putting this type of effort in today. Senior from Noblesville, Indiana, Ava Bramblett, a star in the Big Ten. Played through an injured hip last season for the Buckeyes. Said she wanted to stay for her team. As you look at the Buckeyes and their players to watch, it's the three-headed monster of Schluter, Bramblett, and Greco.
Well,
so much experience. Huh?
That's the spine of the team. I mean, we've talked about it time and again here this afternoon, but that Ohio State spine, the central from the back to the front in the defensive, midfield, and forward line has been so good.
Shot there, takes a deflection off the foot of Britt. Have those three impressed you today?
They have, and they've showed their veteran presence, and you think about how tough this is to play in the heat, to play on the road against a quality opponent, and yet time and again when we've called those Ohio State names, it's been their stars, it's been those veterans who are the leaders of this team, and you saw there Ava Bramblett go down for just a minute, but it would take a ton to pull her out of this game in the last 12 minutes, whether she's on the back line as she has been this afternoon or in midfield. Such a stalwart for head coach and this Ohio State Buckeye team.
Patty Bramblett has played every game for the last 2 seasons, has not missed one, coming into the debut here of the 26th season. The best ability is availability, no?
I like it.
You like that?
Thanks, Coach.
Clemson trying to pull a stutter. What a move. Creating space into the box on her left. Dropping it back, Harris saw one too many. Not bad from Castenfeld, who has had some bright moments early on for the Tigers in her junior campaign. Little over 11 minutes. Wayward pass. Still battling for it. That's Britt. Now Decker. Mabe surveys, didn't like what she had going forward. Now it's the Buckeyes spraying it around. Bottom stays with it, physical presence. In the end, the Tigers corral. In tight spaces. Played over the top, Harris runs on. Strong pass backwards to Northrop from Garcia. And another whistle. Stoppage of the clock, and a player in red trying to stretch her leg out, cramping up, no doubt. Is that Schluter?
Well, I have a feeling we might see a lot of this here in the final 10 minutes. Just such a tough environment to play in with the heat and the amount of running that's been done by both sides, really. I mean, it's been a really entertaining game, and you've seen a level of play that's you don't normally see in the first week of the season, you see in the last week of the season. Schluter, though, has covered a tremendous amount of ground. And so you hope you can see the senior leader of this attack back up and able to finish this game. But she has had a tremendous match thus far for the Buckeyes.
A couple players had gone down, Greco included. Schluter, a player that has been a star for a couple of seasons in Columbus. 27 career goals, 24 assists in her career. Two-time All-Big Ten honoree. And really found her stride late last season as she gets up in the NCAA tournament. And her coach says she can play the 9, the 10, out wide, the 6. The game has really slowed down for her tactically, and you see that in her number of career assists. Really gets her teammates involved as she climbs the record books in Columbus. One more to move into second for assists all time.
Well, she's led this team in assists each of her first 3 years in Columbus, which is an incredible stat. And you really get the sense after watching her this afternoon why that is. Not only is she dynamic and getting in behind opponents, but she is the playmaker in midfield. If she drops into that false 9, she's able to really pivot the game and slip balls in behind. Today, 4 shots, 2 of which have been on frame, and she has been the most dynamic player all afternoon for her head coach, Lori Walker-Hall.
And of the Buckeyes' goals the past 2 seasons, Schluter's been involved in north of half of them. And you can see 2 years ago, especially, a prolific offense in Columbus. Last season got better as the season went along and as the campaign pushed forward into the NCAA tournament. But the Buckeyes traditionally so tough to score on. 11 shutouts in 2025. They're on their way to another one here to start the 26 campaign. They're going to be a tough out yet again in the Big Ten. 10 minutes to play in Clemson. Through ball, too heavy.
And I like the idea there from Sydney Bering. We haven't seen a ton of this afternoon from Ohio State, in a wide player in that 7-11 winger spot, cutting across, making the diagonal run, looking for that ball in behind. It's a good idea from Sydney Bering. Doesn't come to fruition, but I like the idea of trying a different way to break down this Clemson back line.
Clemson pushing into the attacking third. Bodak. One-touch soccer now from the Tigers. Occupying the width. Harris using her body to shield. Can she angle onto her left foot? Goes down, no. Brad Church says not enough there.
is making the review signal to the 4th official, so we will see a stoppage here. Eddie Radwanski is using his second challenge, although 81 minutes in, I'm not so sure here. You see Juju Harris does really well to get her body in between the defender and the ball. I don't think there's enough for me with 8.5 to play to see a penalty awarded, although we've seen a few times now these challenges successful. Certainly is some contact. This is another one of those tweeners, and a tough decision in the end for center referee Brad Church.
But if you have the challenge, it's worth a look, right? Late in a game like this, down a player, could be the difference.
Well, why not? Use them or lose them, and certainly Eddie Radwanski using it here. Again, I wouldn't be shocked to see this given as a penalty, but this touch right there, I mean, she's going away from goal. The defender does not get a touch on the ball in Natalie Garcia, and there is a little bit of contact. It would be a harsh penalty, but I've seen stranger things happen.
Our third coach's challenge. And like you thought, Patty, not enough.
And again, it was in between, and it certainly could have been given, but I like the call there from our center referee, Brad Church, as we get a look here. Two challenges allowed per game, signaled by the head coach, that little roundup rodeo signal that we've seen time and again. The referee may initiate in the final 10 minutes of regulation. That's why I thought there you might see the referee go back to the review and not Eddie Radwanski. But now Clemson out of challenges for the remainder of the game, and I would say two really well-used challenges there from Eddie Radwanski.
Nice job by our crew to give you the rules. They're in a graphic as well. New to the college game. Number of new rules, including keeper can't hold the ball for too long before play will be stopped and an indirect free kick.
It'll be interesting to see how that rule affects the game, Ari. I think when we talked to both of these coaches this week, they were both a little skeptical of how it might be used and abused. Obviously, coaches are going to use it to the most that they can. In this case, though, all three challenges have been totally fair and I think have been well used by these veteran head coaches.
Handball there for Scobie. She tried to poke it forward and create her own run. Annika Bramblett. Too heavy. It was intended again for the give and go. That time to Lou. Harris. Switching the point of attack. Headed away. Nice work getting back from Schluter. Tell she's physically been impacted by the conditions.
This has been a better stretch from Clemson. I'm not sure if you didn't know that they were down to 10 players that you'd be able to figure it out. Clemson has been the aggressor here in the last 5-10 minutes, and they look to be the ones looking for a winner here in the dying moments.
Set piece opportunity for the Tigers. It'll be Davis. Patty, where do you put this one?
Again, this is a central position. It's a little bit tough, but you have to just float it right around the penalty spot, see if you can get a flick and potentially an effort on that second ball.
Davis going for goal, and it's punched over the ball. A terrific effort from Davis. Caught Northrop by surprise.
It caught us all by surprise. I mean, if 35, 40 yards out, why not? If you're Danny Davis, what an absolute strike here. Just catches this one so pure. Ultimately, it's going straight at Northrop, but that thing is moving in the air. It's knuckling. That's a good save in the end from Peyton Northrop to keep this a scoreless match.
Just at that last moment, able to get the glove and punch it right over the bar. It's another corner for Clemson. This will be the Tigers' fourth. They'll play it short. Low ball through will lead to another corner. Subs coming in for both teams. Tatum shorts it for Clemson. Callie Tumulty and Isla Eaton hustle in for the Buckeyes.
Kendall Bodak is still out there next to that ball. I wouldn't mind to see this one go short as well. See if you can run at that back line.
Just over 5 minutes to play. In swinging ball. Pretty good effort. Headed into the air. Not out of the box as Harris chases it down. Clemson with a surge of energy late at home. Even down a player.
Now set piece after set piece coming here for the Tigers. You get the sense it's only a matter of time before they can find an effort on frame. It's been good service into the box, just putting that ball right on top of the Ohio State back line, testing the Buckeyes time and again here in the dying moments.
What a result this would be for the Tigers if they're able to find a goal. Down a woman for a big part of this second half. After Jolie Jenkins was sent off. Davis plays it short. Harris, top of the 18. Could we see a hit here? Castenfeld didn't quite get it right. Couldn't get the dip on the ball she was looking for. And Schluter, struggling, no doubt, will come off as Stevens is in. That's a tough break for the Buckeyes. A foot race to the ball won by the Tigers. And blasted upfield. Bodak. Dispossession. Oh, great effort from short. It'll be a goal kick. She's throwing her body on the line.
Now we've talked about the pace that Annika Paremba has. She does well to take this ball off Short initially, but Short, as you note, does so well in this recovery just to get the poke here and not allow that speedy left back to get in behind.
Seven shots for Ohio State in this second half. Can the Buckeyes find a results and a winner? Late on the road foul on the visitors from Columbus. You can see Bissinger sucking air. It's tough. Patty, you and I are hot up here in the booth. We've got an AC unit trying to help us. We're drenched. Can only imagine what it's like down there. Looking for a through ball. Oh, flag went up on Tumulty.
It's just a step offside here. It is Tumulty, but it's a good idea early, trying to spring the forward in behind right at the end. I think she is a step offside and likely the right decision there, but could have been behind for that opening goal here late.
Under 2 to play. 0-0 in Clemson. Can either team pull a rabbit out of the hat late? Bodak. She's put in a good shift today. Crossed it towards the 6. And offside flag goes up.
A really good touch there from Castenfeld.
Carla Small, 1v1. Carries it forward. Dispossessed, but it's a throw for the Tigers. Bissinger. Small crosses it in, headed down, out of the box. Under 30 seconds to play in this one. Reads it, plays it direct. Nobody in the box for the Tigers. perhaps the last action in this one. And a foul called.
And now if you're Ohio State, you got to get everybody into the box, and you got to lump one in. There's no downside to putting every red shirt in the box, lumping one in, hopefully from Peyton Northrup. You see the goalkeeper coming up here. See if you can get just the slightest of deflections and potentially a dying effort on Fred.
5 seconds left to play. Northrup into the box. Not a good effort there. And that's how this one will end. 90 minutes. We couldn't find a winner. 0-0 the final.